Hello, everybody. I'm Dane, one of the content developers at Moving to Canada.
And I'm Hugo, I'm editor of Moving to Canada. Once again, we're down here in downtown Montreal. It's another nice day, no rain. And we're ready to tell you about the latest Express Entry draw news. So Dane, tell the people out there what happened this morning with Express Entry.
Right, so today, July 24th, we had the latest Express Entry draw take place just a couple minutes ago. In this draw, 3,600 invitations to apply were issued with a minimum CRS score cutoff of 459 points. So that's a 1-point decrease from the last draw, and it's actually the first time since May that we've seen that score drop below 460, and it's the fourth time in a row that we've seen the score fall. So good news for those of you with CRS scores floating in the 450s, that if this trend keeps going on, there's a decent chance you could get an NTA.
So for those of you who got an invitation this morning, make sure you get your stuff together quickly. That's your forms and your documents. You got 60 days to apply. You want to give yourself the best chance of being right here in Canada within the next few months, you and your family. Those of you in the 450s, the score might come down further, and those of you scores even lower than that, and that might be a good few of you out there, there are ways to increase your score. You don't have to wait for the score cutoffs to go down. Recently we talked about language tests and PNPs as 2 ways to increase your score. Today we're going to have a quick minute or two on job offers. So Dane, job offer is one way to increase your score, but can you just get any job offer? Can you just get a letter from an employer in Canada, or are there conditions so that you can get those points for Express Entry?
Yeah, so it's a bit more complicated than just getting a letter from an employer in Canada. There are a couple conditions you have to meet in order to claim points under Express Entry for this job offer. In order to claim points, you have to meet 4 conditions. First, your job offer has to be for a position that's full-time and non-seasonal. Second, it has to be for a position that's at least 1 year in length. Third, it has to be for a position at National Occupation Classification Code, NOC code 0A or B, so that means it's a skilled position in Canada. And fourth, that job offer has to be supported by what's called a positive labor market impact assessment, or LMIA, or it has to be formally exempt from needing an LMIA.
So what is an LMIA? Lots of people out there might not know what that means. Can you just give a quick recap of what that means?
Yeah, a labor market impact assessment, or an LMIA, is a document that assesses whether hiring a foreign worker will have a positive or a negative impact on the Canadian economy. So in order for you to claim points for your job offer, you have to have an LMIA that says it will have a positive impact hiring you on the Canadian economy. Now, important to note, it's not your responsibility as the foreign worker to obtain the LMIA. It's actually the responsibility of the Canadian employer to get that document. Now, in certain cases, there are exceptions to the LMIA requirement. These are known as formal LMIA exemptions, and there's a few different types of these. A lot of them are very specific, very detailed, but a few of the common ones for Express Entry are intra-company transfers. So you worked for a company outside of Canada that had an office in Canada, and they've transferred you here. You've worked in Canada for at least a year. You can probably claim points for a job offer there. And then the other option that's quite common is free trade agreements. For example, the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, has some LMIA exemption provisions in it. Yeah.
So how many points do you get though for a job offer? I know PNPs is 600, language tests can be anything depending on the results, but for a job offer specifically, how many points is that?
For a job offer in Express Entry, you're going to get either 200 points or 50 points, depends on the skill level of the job offer. Highly skilled positions, those positions that start with NOC code 00, will land you 200 points. All other skilled positions will get you 50 points added to your CRS score.
And are there ways that you can, this is a question we get a lot. I was just talking to our social media and community manager this morning, who told me that this question she's seeing more and more. How do you get a job offer for Express Entry? We've gone through the technicalities of LMIAs, but how do you actually get that job offer? What can you do?
Right, I mean, you have a few different options to explore for finding a job offer in Canada. One thing that we recommend is checking out the Moving to Canada jobs board. It's on our website, movingtocanada.com, the number 2, movingtocanada.com. But outside of our jobs board, once you do create an Express Entry profile, you also have the option to create a profile on Canada's job bank and search for jobs there. And then there are a number of other job searching databases available in Canada. For example, Indeed is a commonly used one, so you can also search those sorts of platforms.
And importantly as well, do some research on what a resume, you might know it as a CV, what that looks like in Canada, what employers expect, what they want to see, and how you can create the best document that really sells your skills and experience. We do have a guide on that on movingtocanada.com. Go to the employment tab on the website, or go into the menu if you're looking on your phone and look for employment. You will see very clearly a guide on improving your resume and getting it ready for Canada. But look, all this said, we are here for a piece of news. If you didn't catch it at the start, if you're just joining the video at this point, what happened this morning in Express Entry?
So the latest Express Entry draw took place this morning. In this draw, 3,600 invitations to apply were issued, and the minimum CRS score cutoff was 459 points. If you want all the latest info on Express Entry, check out our website, movingtocanada.com. Otherwise, stay tuned to our social media. We do live videos on Instagram and Facebook as soon as there's an Express Entry draw, and then we also post the results here to YouTube. So if you're interested, also click subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks so much.